It's 3 a.m. You're staring at the ceiling. Your phone is face down beside you because you promised yourself you wouldn't check it. You won't keep that promise. But here's the strange part. You assume this is a modern problem. It isn't. Your ancestors lay awake too. No phones, no ceilings even. Just stars and the sound of something moving in the dark. So what did they actually do, lying there wide awake, thousands of years before melatonin gummies existed? The answer is far stranger than counting sheep. For most of human history, sleep didn't look like yours. Anthropologist Carol Worthman, who has spent decades studying sleep across traditional societies, found something that upends almost everything you assume about a normal night. There wasn't one block of sleep. There were two. This is called biphasic sleep, a first sleep starting shortly after dark, then in the dead of night, a waking period, then a second sleep lasting until dawn. People didn't toss and turn during that middle waking stretch. They expected it. They used it. Historian A. Roger Ekirch dug through centuries of diaries, court records, and medical texts and found hundreds of references to this segmented pattern. People called it first sleep and second sleep as casually as you'd say morning and afternoon. The waking hour between them wasn't insomnia, it was just Tuesday. So what happened during that gap? Some people prayed, some had sex, some reflected on dreams from the first sleep, which were considered especially vivid and meaningful, almost prophetic. Some simply talked, low voices in the dark beside a dying fire. It was a built-in window for the mind to wander without judgment, a private hour the rest of the day never offered. Now picture an actual hunter-gatherer camp 20,000 years ago. Firelight low, a few bodies curled near the warmth, others slightly apart. Someone stirs in the second hour. They don't reach for a screen. There is no screen. They sit up. They might mend a tool by feel, the shape of it familiar enough to fix in the dark. They might listen. Listening mattered more than you'd think. Sleep researcher Matthew Walker has written extensively about how human sleep architecture evolved under real threat. Predators, rival groups, a fire that needed tending so it didn't die and leave everyone exposed. Some researchers propose that this middle-of-the-night wakefulness wasn't a flaw in the system. It was the system, a built-in watch shift encoded into the body itself. Think about that for a second. You feel broken when you wake at 3 a.m. Your ancestors may have been doing exactly what their biology designed them to do. Keep one eye open on the world, literally, for the good of the group. This is the part that should reframe your whole nervous system. The watch shift theory suggests that not everyone in a group needed to wake at the same time. Sleep, staggered slightly across different members, meant someone was always semi-alert. A natural rotation. No alarm clocks, no assigned shifts, just bodies slightly out of sync with each other, covering the gaps between them. Now think about how fragile that early human group actually was. No walls, no locks. A perimeter made of firelight and trust. If everyone slept the exact same hours, in the exact same depth, the entire camp would be unguarded for stretches at a time. Evolution doesn't tend to leave gaps like that unfilled for long. A species that slept too deeply, too uniformly, would have been an easy target. So perhaps it isn't a coincidence that human sleep, even today, is lighter and more easily interrupted than that of many other mammals. You might be carrying a kind of built-in vigilance your body still hasn't been told to retire, and the fire deserves its own mention here, because anthropologists increasingly believe fire didn't just provide warmth, it restructured the entire rhythm of human sleep. Before fire, when the sun went down, that was it. Darkness was dangerous, so you slept through as much of it as biologically possible. But fire pushed back the dark. It gave people light to stay semi-awake by, light to socialize by, light that extended the day artificially for the very first time in the history of the species. Picture what that must have felt like, the first few generations who had it. A circle of faces lit orange, awake an hour or two later than their grandparents ever could have been. Stories told, disputes settled, children calmed back to sleep with low humming voices. Fire didn't just change temperature, it changed what a night could contain. Researchers studying the Hadza, a hunter-gatherer community in Tanzania, and the San people of the Kalahari have found something that doesn't match the popular myth of the noble savage sleeping 9 peaceful hours under open stars. Their sleep is often fragmented, often shorter than yours, according to some.